All right, everyone, welcome to another podcast. And this one is pretty interesting because this one is about the scrim between Global Conflict and 21CW. So I have quite a few people here with me, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce them real quick. I have Duke from GC.
Hi, guys.
I have Starfisher from GC.
How's it going?
Bach.
Hello.
And Insanity Rocks.
Hey everyone.
From 21CW, I have myself and Kilo.
What's up, guys?
Can Opener Meet.
Yo.
And Juno.
Hello.
All right, so if you guys aren't aware, this whole podcast is about the scrim this weekend of 21CW versus Global Conflict. It should be a great time. So before we get started in a little specifics about the actual scrim, I'm going to ask Duke from Global Conflict how this all got started.
Absolutely. So, hi, guys. I'm Duke. Basically, the GC community has a pretty long history of trying to mix it up with other communities out there that do the same sort of stuff we do, 64-player Battlefield tournaments. And when the BF3 era, so to say, was ending, we looked around and wanted to do some fun stuff to kind of bridge the gap between this game and the next, and we decided to reach out to our friends both in GC and at 21CW in the form of Kilo and try to put something together that would be fun for both of our communities and hopefully a good chance for players to meet and mingle from both sides and hopefully develop our relationship a little bit more.
Absolutely. We both play the 32 versus 32, and it really makes Battlefield such an interesting way to play it, and it's kind of like how it's meant to be played. So I'm pretty excited to have the two communities coming together. And Kilo, you kind of helped organize this because you're sort of involved in both communities. But how did it come about from the 21CW side?
Well, actually, both 20CW and Global Conflict ended their campaigns, I think, 1 week apart. And right after GC ended theirs, Duke approached me and said, hey, you guys want to scrim? Because actually in the beginning of our campaign, me and Duke were talking about this. And I'm glad we finally got it going.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got together. It should be sort of a last sort of hurrah for Battlefield 3. All right, well, talking a little bit about the scrim, we have a set of maps that we've pretty much for sure going to play, and we also have a couple extra maps that we may add in if things are going well. So, Kilo, if you don't mind talking about those maps.
The first map we're going to play is Caspian Border Large Full Asset. Each side will be playing once on, a total of 2 rounds, and each side will be playing from both sides. Next map is Karg Island Large Full Asset. Third is Sharkey Peninsula Infantry Only. And last one is Bandar Desert Large Full Asset. If things are going well and we still have a lot of people on, we are thinking about mixing the community so we get to play with each other. And the 2 maps for that will be Strike at Karkand and Marquez Monolith.
That sounds like a good lineup. I mean, 3 great all-asset maps, and then an infantry-only map. It should be a lot of fun. And if it's going really well, I think that'd be a cool opportunity to get a chance to play with some of the Global Conflict guys and sort of see how they do things. So that sounds like a pretty good map lineup. All right, so I'm going to go next to Starfisher and Bach, who are sort of leading it on their side of Global Conflict and sort of how they're organizing it, and they're getting their army set up. So go ahead, Starfisher, if you want to start off.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the main thing is that Global Conflict has a kind of cultural element where we try to make sure everyone gets equal playing time. So what we've been doing is collecting signups and trying to figure out how we balance competitiveness with the idea that everyone should have a chance to play. Obviously, we don't just want to get stomped. We want to put up a good fight, but at the same time, we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to go. So most of my work has been trying to figure out how we get to rotate through 60-odd signups in a way that's not insane. We've also been getting our leadership in place to do some map strategy. I'll hand it off to Bach to talk about that.
All right, Bach, if you want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so as far as map strategy goes, we looked to our community, pulled some guys from each of our the two armies from the previous campaign who had been in leadership positions, who had a lot of recent experience being a field commander on these maps, and just look for volunteers for people who want to take that role in the scrim. And from there, based on what maps people wanted to command, kind of let them whip up a strategy and collect input from the community members. I think we got some interesting things drawn up.
Well, it's kind of funny you say that, because that's pretty much exactly the somewhat similar process we've gone through at 21CW. So I'm going to hand it off to one of the people that has been a general in the recent past for us and is going to be in the battlefield commander position on Saturday. And this is our one of our tournament advisors, Juno. So Juno, if you want to start off real quick and talk about how we're getting ready.
Yeah, much similar to what was just described. We pull the pool of people from the community that have recent experience on those maps in the field and making strategies. And we've been practicing all week where we run through our strategies on the field and see what works and what doesn't work.
And Can Opener, if you want to talk a little bit more about some of the people that we've gotten in position and how we're organizing from our side.
Sure. From our side, it's kind of interesting right now because this season, our last campaign over at 21TW, we had a lot of fair play between both generals and both armies, which we usually have at 20CW. I'm sure like they have at GC as well. But it was especially fun this time because we got to talk to each other and try to solve the big BF3 to BF4 problem. But that's a separate thing, which everyone knows about. But on a side note, Kaiser and Fengard aren't here. They're going to also be running a couple of the maps while we're playing. I'll be working on the Sharky Peninsula map, infantry only. I love infantry, so luckily I got picked for that. But for preparation, I've been drinking as much beer as possible and trying to get people to drink beer as well if you're over 21. And we've been just working on the skills, and hopefully, like you said earlier, hopefully it's competitive and fun. That we can rotate everybody through who's interested in play.
What about our beer drinkers in Canada, Mexico, and Europe who can drink beer before age of 21?
Oh, well, obviously. If you can drink beer legally, have at it.
They're the lucky ones.
Oh, that's how I prepare for infantry battles. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad we've covered. I'm glad we've covered all of our legal bases as far as drinking while we play. This brings us back to me and Insanity and sort of the head of the PR teams for the prospective communities. And Insanity, if you want to talk real quick just about some of the benefits and the plus side to two communities sort of coming together and battling it out.
So yes, I'll try to talk to that. I think it's beneficial for both of our communities to announce this as wide as we can, to give exposure to both of our communities, to show people that there's a better way to play Battlefield 3, and it is really the team aspect, the strategy, the tactics, down to the squad level. So I'm hoping that through our PR efforts that we get a big audience for this, especially as we come up to start preparing for Battlefield 4. I think we're going to have a big influx of folks, and if we're able to give them a preview of what our community is about beforehand, I think they'll come in even more excited to play Battlefield 4 with us.
Yeah, and Sandy, you make a great point. And we're going to be doing, hopefully, streams from both sides. I think both sides have somewhere around 5 people that are going to be streaming, and we'll be making Reddit posts. So we encourage you to check out the posts, visit the websites, come on the TeamSpeaks and talk to the players. It really is a great way to play, and completely apart from just the cool part of the strategy and the 32 versus 32, you get to meet a lot of great people in both communities, and I think that's the real reason why people come back to both 21CW and Global Conflict. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the pre-battle podcasts for Global Conflict versus 21CW. I wish both sides the best of luck, and I really hope it's a great time. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here, and we'll see how it goes on Saturday. And this is Kat, signing off.